Hey guys, my name is Kay and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video I will show you my latest sketchbook which I recently finished, and as far as I can tell I used it quite a lot to the point where it's almost falling apart. I took the sketchbook with me every day. It always had to survive being stuffed into my overloaded backpack. As you can see, the cover is overall scratched up, and also the glue on the front cover isn't sticking anymore with the sketchbook itself, and it's hanging on its life, I would say, as you can see. So yeah, it's really to its nearest end. So yeah, about the sketchbook itself, this is my 11th sketchbook and it took me about 10 months to finish it. And if you're expecting any beautiful sketchbook pages, I must disappoint you. For me, a sketchbook is where I scribble down my ideas that came up to my mind, writing some notes and testing and experimenting with new art supplies and drawing the human anatomy. So yeah, there will be more study sessions in there. And yeah, I would say let's get right started into it. So on the first page I drew Dimitri from the Fire Emblem series, Fire Emblem 3 Houses. For the background I used watercolor paint, and for the character itself I used Copic markers. There I wanted to test the paper quality, what the paper can handle. Watercolor it can handle pretty good, but for Copics I wouldn't recommend using Copics in the sketchbook, because if you're using like alcohol markers in there, it's soaking up the ink pretty fast and too much of the ink, so it will empty your alcohol marker pretty fast, and it's also bleeding through a lot, like this if you're seeing it. And so I wouldn't recommend using any alcohol markers in there. So on the next page I scribbled down some notes and sketched out an idea I did for the Draw This in Your Style challenge from Drawing Like a Self for his 100k on Instagram, if I remember correctly. And yeah, there I scribbled down the idea I had, what I wanted to paint, and I drew it digitally, and there I write some notes down that I wanted to include in the painting, and that's it basically. So I do this quite often in my sketchbook, where I scribble down on the right side of the sketchbook my idea, on the left side I write some notes down. In the sketchbook I used many different medias to test out what the sketchbook can handle. I used like alcohol markers, watercolor paint, acrylic paint, jelly gouache and colored pencil, only to test out what it really can handle. I was really impressed that the sketchbook can handle watercolor and acrylic print that good. I was really impressed. I was kind of disappointed that like alcohol markers don't work pretty good in it, but if you have the sketchbook you will notice that the paper quality is pretty good, and you can almost compare it to like a watercolor paper, I would assume. If I'm wrong, sorry but that's my assumption about it. So yeah. About this sketch, I drew it traditionally afterwards. I scribbled down this idea. I really like the sketch. It's it was also for me a challenge to draw something like this than when I drew it traditionally. I rarely draw a full body with backgrounds and everything, so I tested myself a little bit. Afterwards I drew it with gouache and Copic marker to see how the dynamic between those two are when combining them. So yeah, in this sketchbook there is nothing special I did. I just drew a bunch of anatomy and random stuff that came to my mind, just to say I drew something that day and I practiced my art skills. I also drew a lot of my OCs, more Emma. And then I wanted to get her character design. I drew her a lot because she is one of the main characters in my story I'm planning to do some days. I changed her outfit quite a lot because I'm not sure in what time her world will play. At first I wanted to have it in more science fiction world, but now I'm tempted more in a fantasy world like Baldur's Gate 3, if you know that game. So something like that, but I'm not quite sure. I plan to do a whole sketchbook session where I plan my whole story. So if you're interested in it, let me know in the comments. So I will do a video about that. On this page I drew some thumbnail sketches about some ideas I wanted to draw. And this was one of my YouTube videos about art block. Oh my god. Yeah, what can I say about this page? I hate it. I really hate this page. As I said before, a sketchbook doesn't need beautiful pages in it. For me, a sketchbook is learning and trying out new things, and this was one of it. Also, what the mistake was that I picked the wrong skin color and it got too dark for the character, so I just said to myself, I give up. So yeah, there's nothing special about the sketchbook itself, just drawing random stuff, trying out some things, doing character design, nothing special about it. This drawing I did with a limited color palette. I just wanted to see what I can do with just a reddish color. And I like it. It is just a little warm-up sketch and wanted to try something different from what I've done before in the sketchbook. I like it. I always drew from references. I rarely drew from my imagination because I wanted to learn something while drawing, and most of the drawings you see are references from Pinterest. So yeah, this was a sketch for my free marker challenge I did on my YouTube channel. It's again Emma. I drew a lot in the sketchbook. One of my favorite pages, Law from the anime One Piece. He is my favorite character of the anime, and I drew him quite a lot. And yeah, I also did a speed paint about this. I drew it. I drew the outlines and did the coloration digitally, and you can also see it on my YouTube channel if you're interested in it. But yeah, I really like this sketch. It's nothing special, but yeah, I do like it. And I know I forgot one of his tattoos here and did it digitally afterwards. You can see that acrylic markers don't work quite well with the sketchbook. you can see every line you drew with the alcohol marker, and it leave some stains. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend using any alcohol marker in it anymore. Only using colored pencils and watercolor, acrylic, or gel gouache paint. This is me. I wanted to draw a persona of mine. For YouTube, I plan to have a 2D character model for my YouTube videos, but I never really did it, and I don't have any motivation for it anymore. Emma again. I drew quite a lot. I tried many things, doing many designs of her. You will see it through the sketchbook session. Here I drew some Inktober prompts. When the official Inktober Instagram page posted the official prompt list for October 2024, I wanted to sketch down some days because my first intention was to draw every day from the official prompt list, and I wanted to sketch out the ideas to see if I even can do this. And spoiler alert, it was too hard for me and ended up like doing my own Inktober prompt list, if you can say it like that. But yeah, I tried. I tried, and this is what matters. This is my OC Vyron. What can I say about him? I don't know what kind of character design this guy should have. Through the sketchbook, I also drew a little bit about him, about his hairstyle, how he should look like. I'm currently at this point where I also wanted to rename him. I don't like the name Wyvern anymore. But for my next sketchbook, I want to draw him more often and want to settle down his character design. So yeah, this is one of his early designs that I came up with. Here I decided to draw for Inktober again and scribble down some ideas. At the point I thought I could do a fan art Inktober, but I also decided that's not a good idea, that will take too much time. Here I did some anatomy studies. I don't know if you can see it quite well, but I drew it in blue to have more colors in my sketchbook. So yeah. More Laws. Yeah, Law is my favorite character from One Piece, if you can tell. I like this sketch. It's one of my favorites from him. I will draw it twice. One with alcohol markers and one with watercolor paint. But I like the sketch the most from it. Yeah. Anatomy studies. You can see I drew a lot of anatomy in there. Also a reference from Pinterest I drew. Always when I drew the human anatomy, I always use Pinterest references or do gesture drawings. This is a page where I redrew two of my drawings that I did in the past. This is also one of my Inktober drawings I did. This is Itachi from Naruto. And this was also a drawing I did 1 or 2 years ago. I never really finished it because I didn't have any motivation anymore, which is sad because I liked how it started. But yeah. By the way, this sketchbook is also one of the sketchbooks where I had the most unfinished drawings in it. I always finished all of my drawings in the sketchbook, But this sketchbook is kind of special because I have too many unfinished paintings, drawing, sketches, whatever in there. I don't know exactly why that is, but it is a sketchbook. It hasn't to be perfect at all. I tried out jelly gouache and experimented with it. I tried different techniques and I wanted to learn jelly gouache. I wanted to get better in jelly gouache, and these are the results of it. Again, I used a Pinterest reference and redraw the scene. It's kind of beautiful. It could be better, but it was one of my first tries. Here I drew Gigi from Kiki's delivery service. Yeah, it was kind of a failure, but that's okay. That's what the sketchbook is for, to learn something new. It was also one of my first try using jelly gouache. Here I wanted to draw a dark forest with a fairy from the Legend of Zelda series. My intention was that everything in the background should be dark because it's a dark forest, obviously, and I wanted that the fairy is kind of shining, but it didn't really end up how I imagined it. I had to repaint this tree, if you can see it. So there should be a tree. I repainted it about 5 times. And it never came to the color that I've imagined and how I imagined the whole scene in general. So I said to myself, okay, I give up. I tried enough on this page. I want to keep moving forward. So yeah, and that's what I did. Yeah, here I had an idea about drawing a lake with a beautiful fish in it, and around the lake there should be cats watching the fish. And then I realized I don't know how to draw cats. I don't really know. Then we have a Frieren on the next page. I watched the anime, but only half of the season 1. The show was kind of okay for me, but not the best. I know I have to give it a try again. But yeah. I have so many animes going on at the moment. I watch too many. And I don't know when I should watch everything. Oh, and here I drew my first CSI shapes on purpose. Oh my god, it's so ugly. I don't know. Compared to the YouTube video I did last time, so compared to this page that I drew back in the middle of October, this was when I drew it in February, and you can see the improvement if you're drawing a lot of CSI shapes. It's kind of impressive, I must say. I'm surprised how where the improvement is. I haven't noticed that. So yeah, this was my first attempt on the CSI shapes. And it helps. You can see it yourself. Yeah. And gesture drawings. There I started more doing gesture drawings with a time limit to 1 to 3 minutes. 5 minutes, something like that, in between. What I hate about this page is that I painted it like a background with different colors. Then the orange color, so this is all alcohol markers on the background, like cheaper versions. I didn't use like the expensive Copic markers, more a cheaper version on it. And Yeah, you can see that when I filled in the page with the alcohol marker, it kind of died on its way. And then I had to use another color, and it's not harmony at all. The problem is that the colors are too vibrant, if it's the right word. So more the background colors are more in the focus and not the gesture drawings anymore. And that's what I hate about myself, that I did that back then. I just wanted to have some colors in the sketchbook and I made the wrong attempt to it. So next time I will not do background colors and just let it be like this. So nothing special about the sketchbook, just a bunch of gesture drawings, learning the human anatomy, testing out some materials, and so on and so on. Here we have Alex Chan from the game Life is Strange True Colors. And at that time I had struggles to draw the proportions of the face correctly. Again, Emma drew with different expressions and drew some character designs, like how her outfit should look like. Then again, I tried to draw the face in a different angle. This should be Emma again, and you see it's so wrong. It's so wrong. Here again I drew anatomy, tried to learn it, and I used the anatomy book from Drawing Like a Sir, because at that time he published it. And I learned a lot from it. It's a really good tutorial book for learning the human anatomy. There are so many good lections in there, and you will see your improvement pretty fast if you keep doing his lections, chapters. It's a really good book. I would recommend it to every artist who wants to get better in the human anatomy and to learn a bunch of new things. So yeah, here are just practices from the anatomy book. It made a lot of fun while practicing the human anatomy with the book and everything. I tried out many methods. I also tried the Loomis method, but it's not my favorite method. I like the method how I drew the faces in my style. But yeah, I just wanted to try it and see if I like it. Maybe I will give it a try someday, but not at the moment. More Loomis methods, more faces. Here I tried to do a different hairstyle for Emma because I wasn't satisfied how the front part looked, and I tried out different styles, one with hairpins, then one without, and I liked the one without a lot. So I kept doing hair design more with the one without the hairpins. More Emma. Then some fan art again. Here drew Toga Himiko from the anime My Hero Academia. I redrew it about 5 times until I finished it. It was quite a journey. And now I'm really happy about the end result of it. Yeah, I did a lot of gesture drawings practice because I wanted to get better in it. I drew a lot of it through the time. Here I tried to draw some cats because I never really drew cats back ever. I never really drew cats. So I wanted to give it a try. This was my first attempt, and you can tell it by the look of its eyes. It's kind of creepy. It looks like it wants to possess you. I don't know. And then this was my second attempt. I like this one, it's kind of cute. And this was my third attempt. This one is kind of okay. It could be better. I don't know if it's kind of cute or ugly. For me, it's a mix between the two of it, being cute and ugly. But it's better than this one. Yeah. More designs for Emma. I tried out many different designs for her, and with this one I was satisfied with it back then, but now I want to redesign it again. I always want to redesign it as often as I can. Don't know why I'm not satisfied with it. I don't know. Here I tried to draw wyvern and tried out a different hair color and eye color. I'm not satisfied with it, I must say. I like the hairstyle though. I really like the hairstyle. And about the scar, I don't know if I should draw a scar on his face. I just wanted to have something that something to the character design, but I'm not sure about it. Then again we have some fan art. This is OC from Drawing Like a Sir. Also the artist who published the sketchbook. And I just thought I should do a little fan art in the sketchbook and drew his OC Black from his manga series. And I colored with alcohol markers, and there you can see you can't really draw with it in there. I mean you can, but you will empty your alcohol marker pretty quickly. Here I tried out some acrylic paint for the first time in the sketchbook. There I only had a limited color palette to draw. I just wanted to test how the paper would react when drawing with acrylic paint. And I'm kind of surprised how well it handled it. Better than watercolor paint. More gesture drawings or more human anatomy drawings. This is also a page that didn't turn out how I imagined it. It's really ugly for me. Also at that time I had some issues drawing mouths, and you can see it. Then I retried to draw the pose again from the last page and wanted to fix the mouth issue that I had. It turned out pretty well, but not satisfied with it. Again, fan art. This time it's Luffy from One Piece. There I wanted to try out different eye shapes. And I also wanted to draw how other artists draw clothes and their folds. So I redrew a scene from the anime in my style and redrew how they would do clothes folding and the shadows, something like that. Again, I did some thumbnail sketching back there. And here we have a Jamao from the anime, the Apothecary's Diaries. Besides One Piece, the Apothecary Diaries are one of my favorite anime shows of all time. I'm currently watching the second season and I really like it. I like the idea behind the sketch, but the expression is way too friendly for Mao Mao. It should be more serious look, but it's okay. I like it. just some random sketches. This should be vibrant in a more winter outfit, because back then on that day it snowed and I wanted to draw something with snow, and this was the first idea that came up to my mind. Some random girl on Pinterest. Here we see a jelly gouache study. If I had more motivation back then this would look a little more different than that. But I only painted the leaves and the eyes in the skin color, and the flowers I never really touched it. I tried to do it with white paint, but I gave up. But I like the idea, it's kind of cool. Here we have another OC of mine. This is Yuki. I drew her when I was younger, where I started to draw back then. This is one of your old designs, and I keep planning that she should also be in my series where Emma and Vivian are living. Of course, she needs another character design because this is a little bit too modern than what I'm currently thinking of. But I just wanted to redraw her. CSI shapes! A lot of CSI shapes. You can never learn enough on CSI shapes. A sketchbook session that I filmed for the coming back video on YouTube. So if you haven't watched it, it is linked in the description. And there we are on the 2 last pages of the sketchbook. Oopsie, not planned. On the left side we have Wyvern with other hair color. And this is not a design of him. I just redrew a Pinterest reference again. And again, the goal was how the folds of clothes are, and yeah, some clothes design, because I only drew my characters in boring one-colored t-shirts and jeans. And yeah, there I wanted just to try something out. And the last page is a real disaster for me, because every time when I finish a sketchbook, I draw a goodbye page that the sketchbook is finished, and there was a little bit of a disaster. I didn't only wanted to draw it with a pencil that is black and white. I wanted to have a little bit more color, to have something special that is a goodbye to the sketchbook. Everything I painted is with alcohol markers, with Copics. And then when I colored the tongue of her, the marker bleeded kind of through to the areas where it shouldn't be, like on the teeth, if you can see it. I tried to fix it with a white jelly pen, like this, the jelly roll, but it didn't really fix it. It made it even worse. It also scratched up the paper a little bit, and then I panicked a little bit. I didn't know what I should do, and I came to the idea that I should do it with a fine liner to fix it. And then it kinda looked really weird, only that the mouth is fine lined, so I thought, okay, I should do the face a little bit and like the skin with fine liner, and it made it even worse. I think the worst part are the eyes. They look a little bit creepy. And why I didn't do the hair is because I liked how the hair was sketched and the blue tone, how the dynamic is between it, and I didn't want to ruin it, because I'm not so good with doing the outlines of something. It would have took me about quite a time. So yeah, and then I was even more unhappy, and I thought, okay, we let it as it is and just finish it, and I will never touch it again. And yeah, and this is the last page of my sketchbook. And here we have some color swatches. I just wanted to test how the paper would react, how much ink my pen has, and something like that. And this brings us to the end of the sketchbook. I hope you guys enjoyed my sketchbook tour. Let me know in the comments what you think about my journey with this sketchbook. I also started already a new sketchbook, and I drew a bunch of gesture drawings in it. We will see when I finish it. I will definitely do another sketchbook tour when the next one is finished. Until then, I will say stay healthy and creative. Bye guys!